friends and family that are out there on Facebook, know me on YouTube, any of the other social media around there. Some of my friends and family in Florida, some of them in Southern California and other places in the U.S. and Canada. Just want to show you a little bit about the weather we got here. If I could describe it in one little sentence here, I'd say it's bipolar with a chance of schizophrenic episode. We've seen some nice sunshine during this winter season. Not much of the white stuff, but we've got a little bit of it today. Just a little bit of snow mixed in with some rain. Nowhere near like what I saw in Oshawa back in 2013 when we had the ice storm. Just nothing like that at all. Just a little bit of mixture of, like I said, some precipitation that perhaps some of you folks on the Middle Atlantic states seen a little too much of, and those of you in Southern California saw a little too little of it. So here we are here in Tecumseh, Windsor, near Windsor, Ontario, just right across the border from Detroit. You guys have a good one. Hope everybody's all safe and happy this winter. I'll be seeing you later.
Well, tonight we begin our News on 12 Extra Picture Perfect.
We sent our photographer, Marty Hemrick, out to find the do's and don'ts of video shopping. Here's his report.
The camcorders that we use here at TV 12 cost about twice as much as the news trucks that we drive them around in. But they're not much different in design and operation than the home camcorders that you can buy for under $1,000. There are about 50 brand name camcorders on the market today, ranging in price from just under $800 to over $2,000. The question is, which one is right for you? All of them are fully automatic, making them a breeze to use. All of them will do a great job. The first decision you'll make when you buy your camcorder is, what size camera, what size tape? Well, so much for the technical stuff. That's half the battle. Remember now, with video, you're telling a story with pictures, and your technique will be the visual language that will tell that story to your audience.
I don't want to look at it sometimes. I feel a little embarrassed. Some of them are embarrassing. Look at it.
Here's what's embarrassing. Cameras all over the place, never resting on anything long enough to tell what you're looking at. Your video should consist of a series of steady, well-composed shots lasting somewhere between 1 and 5 seconds. Start with the wide shots, then go in for the medium shots and close-ups, and keep your camera moves to a minimum. When making a horizontal move or pan, start with a still shot, pan smoothly, and hold your shot still. The same rule applies for tilts or vertical moves. This is what editing used to be. A lot of cutting and splicing. It was a tedious job that got your hands dirty. Well, video technology has changed all of that.
About their holiday tragedy. She is live on the west side where the car has been towed. Heather.
Well, the four friends were actually just finishing eating Christmas dinner together over at Angie and Corey Leroy's house, and they say they were going to go over and just hang out at their friend Zeke's house. This is what happened.
The Leroy family gathered together on this day after Christmas, not to celebrate, but to mourn.
I feel sick in my gut, and I feel lost, and I feel like I just already missed her so bad.
Detectives say Penny's daughter, 16-year-old Angie Leroy, was riding in the front seat of the car that crashed on Christmas night. Angie's boyfriend, 18-year-old Justin Bass, was driving. They say Bass tried to pass two cars that were ahead of him on the two-lane road.
He ended up just getting past the second vehicle right in a curve, and another vehicle was coming the opposite direction.
Police say Bass swerved into his own lane then to avoid those two cars, but was going too fast and spun 180 degrees out of control and then right into this oak tree. You're looking again at a live picture of the car that's actually here in a wrecking yard now, and you can see for yourself these young men who survived are absolutely incredibly lucky. And it turns out, actually, that Corey is not the only one who watched a sibling die on Christmas. Turns out that Justin Bass's sister was in one of the cars that he passed, and she also saw the accident happen. We're live from Northwest Jacksonville. I'm Heather Murphy.
We build fast motorcycles. I really enjoy building hot rod Harleys. We can start from scratch or an old bike that needs to be completely torn down. Well, after we decide what we want to do, we usually just disassemble the bike and find out exactly what we need to do as far as repairs or welding, machine work, order the parts, and then start doing all the machining, painting, powder coating, reassembling the motorcycle. Well, it's a 79 FLH. It's got a 92 cubic inch stroker motor, all hand assembled, all degreed, balanced, blueprinted.
Because the shuttle is carrying the first Israeli to ever go to space.
And more than 300 of his countrymen were there to cheer him on. Channel 4's Scott Johnson was also there talking to the elated Israelis. Scott?
Yuri Gagarin for Russia, and now Israeli Ilan Ramon being heralded by his country as their first man in space.
3, 2, 1.
This is huge news.
And liftoff of Space Shuttle Columbia with a...
The top headline in Israel today is one of their own heads for space.
There's much more to Israel than all the strife that's going on and the trouble there. Israel is a very strong country when it comes to technology and science.
Like many Americans that watched when NASA sent up names like John Glenn and Alan Shepard, the same thing is now happening in Israel. NASA officials tell me they are happy to work with Israel as long as the country is willing, but they do also add this may have been monumental for Israel, but just another space flight for America. We're live at Cape Canaveral. I'm Scott Johnson.
It's another day at the office for Mark Schultz and Mike Hackett. An office with plenty of space and windows. Mark and Mike's job allows them to have a little fun. It's a combination of window washing and rappelling down some of Jacksonville's tallest buildings.
There's all kinds of ways to get to a window, and we have to figure out how to do it.
We have 11 arrest warrants this morning.
Police. It's 6 a.m. and some parents were not expecting this.
We have a warrant for your arrest. Okay? Okay, I need you to go ahead and open the door for me.
Investigators with the state attorney's office arrested 11 parents whose kids, police say, just were not going to school.
Welcome to The Early Show. Today's feature, the Marx Brothers and Animal Crackers.
Welcome to ABC 7's Late Movie. Tonight's feature is Mother Ghost, starring Dana Delaney and James Franco.